You might have seen the news about the CPA's new Lexicon system, which is a world first that enables manufacturers and other users to define information requirements more easily. So, what problem are they trying to solve? Well, the information we need to select products or to understand how to maintain them is provided by manufacturers. They generally produce very comprehensive manuals and product data sheets. Designers and contractors can read these, interpret what they need from them, and apply them to their project. The problem comes when we try and use computers to help with that process. Computers are great at processing information, but not interpreting it. So if we compare the way these two manufacturers describe their products, we find they're using different terminology, which makes it impossible for computers. Hovel's way of describing boiler output is to describe it as nominal heat output. It appears that maximum operating water temperature, in Hovel's case, is maximum operating temperature. And the way weight is described is also different. Well, we'd hope that that's going to be sorted when we implement BIM across the industry. Well, perhaps not. The BIM task group made a great start in 2012 by producing standard product data templates for 704 product types, and in the boiler template they used the term heat output, outlet temperature range, and gross and net weight as standard computer readable IFC definitions, and that's why they've got no spaces between the words. The boiler template in the BIM toolkit NBS produced 3 years later uses different terms, duty output and operating temperature, and there doesn't seem to be any value at all for weight. CIBSE has led a team of industry experts to try and agree what property sets should be captured against each type of product. And they've published these as Excel-based product data templates for manufacturers to complete. It's great work, but the challenge is the time it's taken to arrive at a consensus between experts, and they've only finalised 34 to date. The other challenge is that the property set descriptions are different from the ones developed with COBie and NBS. This becomes even more complicated as different firms compete to provide library creation services. So we've got dozens of different people all describing the same type of products in different ways. That means that designers or contractors who download library objects for use in their models can experience major issues. So manufacturers are being pressed to provide reusable BIM libraries, but how should they create their objects so that designers and contractors can use them? They concluded that they needed to take control of the process, so under the banner of the Construction Products Association, they commissioned BRE and ActivePlan to develop a collaborative platform that experts can use to review the current property sets, discuss improvements, make proposals which can then be ratified and used to publish new content that uses a worldwide standard of terminology. This means that there will be an international standard way of describing a boiler, including all of its properties and attributes. As they're agreed and ratified, they'll be published as a new product template for manufacturers to use to create libraries of their ranges of products. This is an important part of the BIM process, so we want to encourage manufacturers to convert their libraries quickly to this new standard. So the CPA is making those templates totally free for at least 12 months. Existing product library firms will be able to use the templates as well, making it much more attractive for manufacturers to commission them to create their libraries. So the new system is called Lexicon and has been developed by ActivePlan with the BRE. It's essentially an application that enables the creation of product templates that are then used to create product libraries. To get things started, we populated the system with the original 2012 BIM task group 700 plus templates. We expect the CPA experts will want to change some of the descriptions, but this lets a group of people review them collaboratively. The attributes may look odd, but they've been designed to be computer readable. The teams can add a more normal description as they wish, but the IFC terminology is key. Here we select the electrical device common, which has got 10 attributes. We then see the attributes behind that. In this case, we select pump type common, which has got 7 attributes. And here we see those 7 attributes. By selecting the form view in the left panel, we can see all the property sets and attributes for the pump. So you scroll down the screen to see the rest of the attributes. Here we're looking for another product type, a boiler. The BIM Task Force team created 4 different types, and that will probably change, but I'm selecting a water boiler which has got 32 attributes. The form view here gives us all the attributes a manufacturer or an installer will be asked to complete. We now want to review the master library of attributes, and this is where heat output or weight would be defined or modified. The library is structured into groups of attributes in property sets, so we select that from the panel on the left. We also select boiler type common by clicking on the eye on the right. That shows us the attributes in that property set, and by selecting the button on the top right hand called attributes, that's presented as a list. These are the attributes the experts will determine should be completed for that property set for a boiler. There'll be a different set of attributes for the electrical, the warranty or maintenance aspects of a boiler. We're now looking at a master list of attributes that are used in all of the templates. If the experts agree that an attribute should be changed, this is where it's done. This is a bit technical, but it's how the units of measure like power, temperature or volume are defined. By selecting master unit types in the left-hand panel, you can select from a drop-down and see the units of measure assigned against each type, in this case length. So if I now want to export the boiler template to review these attributes, I've got a number of options. First, I need to go back to the templates, and I do that by clicking on Home. I'm presented with the full list of templates, so I search for the boiler and then select water boiler. I then click on Export, and I'm presented with a number of options. The SPI, which is the COBie format for products. COBie is for projects and includes where all the products are in the project. There's also the PDT, which is an Excel spreadsheet in a very similar format to the CIBSI PDTs. There's then a document that describes the attributes and another that supports the mapping, and finally a format other software applications can read. This is a COBie style spreadsheet that only includes one product and therefore no project data. The master sheet summarises what data is in the rest of the spreadsheet. In this case there's very little because it's not in a project yet, other than contacts and attributes where there's 32. By clicking on the Attributes tab at the bottom, you can see the attributes that have flowed through from the template. Here we've got an alternative format, which is the Excel output in the CIBSI PDT format. So here we've got information on the source of energy, the outlet temperature range, and also heat output. Here we've got a Word document that can be used in discussion with the client or their FM team to determine what information they really want or need and what might not be required at handover. This prevents you gathering information for a client that they're never going to use. Lexicon should make a lot of this mapping unnecessary, but it provides the team with an option to relate terminology to that required by other applications.